Today we mourn the loss of Cupcake. Talk about a cliffhanger ending. Hey there, hi there, ho there. Andrew here, and we're on week 8 of The Bachelorette. Somehow, we're still in Killarney, Ireland. I'm ready to go, how about you? Caitlin says she finally has decided to be honest with the guys. Does that mean she's telling everybody? Probably she just means Sean. At the hotel, Ben H gets the first date card saying, "Let's make today unforgettable." And that turns out to be him rowing a boat to an island. Hey Caitlin, you would have gotten there quicker if you helped. Just saying. So where are they rowing? In his fallen island. In his fallen island? As in his fallen in love? Woohoo! I'll be honest, Caitlin doesn't have that whole small talk thing down. And it's proven while they get to the island. But when they get there, Ben decides to play a little hide and go seek. Now's your chance, man, run! Seriously, I would have gotten on the boat and rowed away. Oddly enough, they're on an island by themselves and they separate within the ruins. My mind automatically went to a horror movie. Is that healthy? Then they sit on a bench and they start to talk. Here comes that small talk. Caitlin wants to know what Ben thinks good husband, good wife material is. Shouldn't that have been established weeks ago? Again, strange small talk. Now they get to go inside a cottage and sit by a fire and have a few drinks. Now Ben tries to be a gentleman here. He mentions that the fantasy suite date shouldn't be that much pressure. After all, they can just sit there and talk all night. It doesn't have to be physical. He's saying this to the woman that wants to know if she has a physical connection with people before she gets real serious. I mean, one of the things that she likes about Nick is how he made her feel like a desired woman. That's how she says it, by the way. Desired woman. So her response to Ben is great. She asks him if he's a virgin. That's what you get for being respectful. Chivalry is dead on this show. He answers her by saying no. Then they make out. As we pan away to the next scene, we hear Caitlin ask how he lost his virginity. I don't know, but I bet you it involved his... Did I mention how awesome she is at small talk? The group date note arrives and is basically a 3-on-1. That means Joe, Sean, and Nick are going out with Caitlin. Jared reads the card and it says that they're going amok. It is spelled out M-U-C-K. Sean says that means dirt. Nick says he doesn't know Irish stuff. What does that mean? Let's go to the next day. The boys meet Caitlin. She tells them about her plans for the date. It's basically hanging out on grassy knolls and park benches. Well, thank goodness it wasn't a picnic. Sean steals away Caitlin first. Is this where she's going to tell them about Nick? No! They mention they haven't made out in a while because of all the drama. So they make out. Nice way to dodge that bullet there, Caitlin. Nick shows up and makes the moment even more awkward. This is probably going to be the last time you see these guys being civil to each other, and Sean leaves. Nick is then asked by Caitlin about his thoughts on what happened on their date, to include their adult nap time. He says, "I feel good about it?" He said that like a question. Time for Joe now. Man, there is no contest when you put Joe next to Nick and Sean. Caitlin is coy and asks questions to Joe. Cue that great small talk. Basically wants to know what he would feel like if they were engaged, and how life would be like together. Joe then says, "I'm in love with you, babe. I don't think there's any denying that." What a line. Joe then says in a confessional shot, "I feel great to be able to tell the girl that I love her." Wait for what happens next. Seriously, look at her face. She can't even look at him in the eye. She basically asks him to put everything on the table and then says, thanks, but no thanks. So Joe knows he's being let go. Caitlin stares at him and he doesn't say anything at first. I mean, really, would you want to make eye contact with somebody after you said that you love them and they were like, you gotta go? She now wants to talk to him and ask about his feelings. Are you serious? Have I said yet that Caitlin makes great small talk? Joe then says, "I'm not saying manure to you right now." Okay, he didn't say manure, but really, can you blame him for that? She then looks at him like he's the villain. I mean, it might be due to the fact that he does look like Billy Bob Thornton in Sling Blade. She then wants to hug him, so he gives her one that you would give a leprous grandma. And then she just looks at him. He then says the best line that I've ever heard on this show. He says, "What am I supposed to do now?" No, seriously. How do the farfanugan do I get off this island? Yeah, I might have edited that one. Joe, if we could all leave with you right now, we would. Caitlin, being the totally classy person that she is, decided to kiss and tell, literally, and tell Nick and Sean what had just happened. Is this the face that you use when you describe Joe? You know, the guy that just said that he loved you only minutes ago? Keeping it classy, Caitlin. Since she didn't tell Sean about Nick yet, Nick is sent home and the date continues with Sean. Nick is unhappy about it and he tells Ben H and Jared about the group date. Sean and Caitlin end up at a bar to hang out and talk. Finally, Caitlin's going to say that she was intimate with Nick. Well, I'm not going to say it was intimate. It was a little more than that. I know. I read the subtitles. In what seems like forever, Caitlin finally tells Sean that she was doing squat thrusts in the cucumber patch with Nick. Sean responds by being silent. Couple of minutes go by. You have to see how quickly this man drinks his beer. He starts with a full glass, but when he responds, his glass is empty. And his response is, "I just gotta go to the bathroom and regroup." The second best line of the night is when we see the door of the bathroom. All we can hear is Sean's open mic saying, "I'm so tense, I can't even piss." That made me laugh. I give Joe the best line of the night because it was said to a person. Sean's line wasn't said to anybody. At least I hope not. We go back to the hotel where Nick is complaining to Jared and Ben about not having enough time with Caitlin. First, he did do the forbidden polka with her. So shut up, Nick. Two, for a guy who joined halfway through the competition and still being there, consider yourself lucky. So shut up, Nick. And three, Free? Shut up, Nick. Back to that awesome alone time that Sean is having with Caitlin. Sean actually does the stand-up thing, which I didn't think he was going to do, and says he's going to man up because Caitlin's worth it. He then asks her if she regretted it. She doesn't say no, and she changes the subject. Chris Harrison pops into the boys at the hotel and says there is not going to be a cocktail party. Jared must be hating Nick right now because he actually got some time and Jared didn't. Let's cue to the rose ceremony. Sean gets called for a rose first. He says he wants to talk to her before accepting. Well, man, tell me you're leaving. Just tell me you're leaving. Do it. It will be the best decision of your life. This is a game where there are no winners. No, he just wants to know what her intentions are. Basically because he doesn't want to be strung along. She then says that she's here to explore her options. Woof. Hey guys, try and tell that to a girl. See if you don't get a drink thrown in your face. Hey, I'm just exploring my options, babe. Sean accepts the rose. The next rose goes to Ben H. What? I didn't see that one coming. Nick gets the last one and Jared is gone. I think Jared is trying to take Ben Z out of the next Bachelor role here. He does things like offering his coat to Caitlin right before he gets into the SUV. You're definitely getting bonus points for that type of sappy stuff. He does say that he hopes that she finds the man of her dreams because she's worth it. I wonder if he still feels that way after watching everything. Bet you a lot of people are happy they got knocked off early. So let's go the next day. Nick gets the first overnight date. They go to a church. At least they're not eating and drinking in this one. They actually talk about their spiritual upbringing. Then they go to a pub. What, no picnic? He then tells her that his first confession was actually about him touching his private parts. Stay classy, ABC. Stay classy. They then continue their date to an old jail. A church, a pub, and a jail. ABC, you are just showing the best that Ireland has. Look at this shot. Could this possibly be some foreshadowing? Not the way you think, because Nick decides to wail on Sean since he's not even there to defend himself. Nick was saying that Sean said that he was an Eskimo brother with a country singer, but he was first. Now, if you don't know what an Eskimo brother is, please go ahead and search it on the internet. Do yourself a favor and delete your browser history before your family sees it. Caitlin brushes off the comment, but not before she goes, ew. She then shows him their fantasy suite, and it's an old jail cell. She then tells him it's just a joke and they're going to their real fantasy suite. We get to see more of this, and then we cue to the next morning. They talk about the series of bacon while Nick is topless. Small talk. The next morning, we see Sean call the operator. Why? Because he wants to know Nick's room number. Is that allowed? Sean then confronts Nick. Nick sits quietly and hears all the crud that comes out of Sean's mouth. So how does Nick respond? To be continued. Well, if you haven't noticed, the room keeps on getting darker, and it's not because I'm in a black hole, but we're about to have a big thunderstorm. Perfect timing! Make sure you subscribe to this channel, and I will see you in the next video.